Welcome back. Another edition of the ESL Trailblazer channel, episode 137. It's good to be back. I missed everybody. Now, today and starting for the next few episodes, I'm going to be sharing with you some language connected with choices and decisions, okay? And today I'm starting on the idioms and language that's idiomatic, expressions that are related to the topic in our consumer-driven world that we live in, and they're going to be useful for you because they're connected with choices, okay? So if you need more language on choice, especially synonyms regarding this, ba-boom, check out that episode. And if you like idioms and you want more on that, bada bing, hit that, okay? But let's jumpstart and this episode with a quote. It's one of my favorite things to do. I do it in the classrooms. And it's a great conversation starter if you choose the right quote or if you ask the right question as a way of reflecting on the quote. So my quote for today's episode: in any moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The worst thing you can do is nothing. Bow! I love it. Theodore Roosevelt, U.S. President of the United States, obviously former, not living anymore, but great quote. And now we're getting ready for today's episode. Right after this brief intro, stay tuned because I'm coming in really fast and really hot. Alright, welcome back everybody. As you can see, there's been a little bit of a rearrangement going on in my background. Maybe looks familiar, but in a different configuration. Hope you like it and it doesn't distract you from the language that I'm sharing with you. If you're interested in fluency, whether you're a teacher or you are a student of language and you want to improve your language skills, boom, I can share some language here to help you, okay? Remember that if this video is too long for you, just go below and click on the speed to 1.5 and you'll get everything in about 2 minutes flat, which is pretty damn quick. However, if you missed something that I said, just rewind, no problemo, and you'll get the language that I've just shared with you in this episode. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. You know who I am, you know what I do. Context. Definitions you can get on the internet. Context is what I'm providing. So here's the language. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Better the devil you know. Sit on the fence against my better judgment. No-brainer. Hedge my bets. Take the plunge. Cherry picking. And finally, the lesser of two evils. That's my list of expressions or idioms, okay? I'm gonna cover some of the context here for some of them, if not all of them. It all depends on time, because I know that I can't keep everybody's attention when watching these videos, all right? So short and sweet is how we like to roll. So the first one is my favorite, no-brainer. No-brainer is a great expression, very practical to know, and you should try and use it whenever you're giving advice or suggestions, because when it comes to choice, if it's very obvious and easy to make, you want to emphasize it by saying it's a no-brainer, okay? So when it comes to consumer spending and we're shopping, and there's something that's inexpensive and offers the same quality as a more expensive option, it's a no-brainer, right? We're gonna probably, most likely, 99% of the time, get the less expensive option because we're not losing any quality, okay? If you have a bit of a maybe subjective or biased opinion about something that you think is fantastic and great, when you give advice and a suggestion, you're gonna say it's a no-brainer, whether it's some kind of electronic device you use, whether it's Samsung or Apple with smartphones, or it's some kind of clothing brand, okay? So that's that expression. My next favorite one out of this list is cherry picking. Cherry picking is meaning you're being very selective. You're choosing and being very picky and particular about what you're choosing when, wait a minute, when everything looks exactly the same. So imagine being at a farmer's market and you are cherry picking the tomatoes, the potatoes, any kind of fruit or vegetable where they all look the same, and you are touching and grabbing each one to decide which is the best to take. You are cherry picking, okay? However, if you are a recruiter, you have to, in some ways, cherry pick your final candidates for the position that you're trying to hire for, okay? Why? Because in a lot of cases, the candidates are going to be almost the same regarding qualifications or experience, right? So you have to cherry pick out of a pool of 100 or 50 or 20, okay? Useful expression when you have a lot of the same and now you need to make a choice. Okay? Not always easy for some people. All right? So those are my two top favorites. All right? The other ones, some of them can also be very useful. Okay? When we say the lesser of two evils or better the devil you know, typically it's when we have to make a choice when we know we're not going to be very satisfied with. Okay? You, in the one expression, you know both of the choices and you're just taking the one that you have a better opinion of, but not much better. Okay? Better the devil you know is choosing what you know rather than going to something new that you don't know. Whether it's a service or a product that you're buying, but usually a service. Think of like going, I don't know, to the mechanic or hiring somebody to fix something for you. You want to trust the people that you've worked with before rather than somebody unknown, okay? Think about elections when you're voting for a politician. That's expression for that. The lesser of two evils, definitely in elections, okay? And definitely with services. And again, when you think you know more about one option than the other, you're going to use this, all right? Hedge my bets is an expression for improving your chances. When you're applying to college, you have a safety school. Okay, when you are in a job application process, you apply to more than one job. Okay, you hedge your bets to give yourself a better chance of ending up with a job or with a university that you can study at. All right, and then against my better judgment or sit on the fence. We sit on the fence. You can probably guess what it means is when we're investing and we're waiting for the right moment to invest. Okay, or we have fear and anxiety about something new that we want to do, and so we're sitting on the fence waiting for what we think is the opportune time to join. Against my better judgment is when you have doubts creep into your mind about a decision you need to make, and you still make it. You still try it out, and then you are validated, but in the worst way, when it turns out that the choice you made was the wrong one, and then you say, against my better judgment. Okay, the most common example is going to be when you're at a restaurant and you're looking at the menu and it's very long, or it's a new restaurant you've never been to, and you choose to get something new, and you have doubts about if it's going to be even tasty or if you're going to like it, or you know that usually places like this restaurant are not going to make it at the level that you expect, at your standard, okay? Against my better judgment, but you made the decision anyway, and it turned out to be the wrong one, okay? Finally, take the plunge. The last one, I'm gonna sneak it in real quick, is when we're dating or when we're getting a job and we're fearful of the outcome because we don't know if it's gonna work out. We don't know, so we take the plunge. We're trusting our gut, our intuition, even though we're not really sure what can happen. And sometimes it's out of our control. Done. I hope I've kept your attention for as long as possible. Check out those episodes. Your viewership matters. Share if you care. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Remember, let's make something happen. I'll see you next time for another episode. Bow. Get 'em.